Okay, so far in August I have read 5 books, and the first one is My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. I wanted to read this for a long time, and I knew that they had come out with a movie, and obviously the cover of this is the movie cover. I have to say that I really did not like the mother. She really drove me nuts. It's like, basically, the one daughter, Anna, was basically, I don't know, made to provide anything, I guess, to be a perfect match for her sister, who is actually sick with, I can't remember if it's leukemia or something like that. I'm not sure if it might have been like a rare type of leukemia, but she basically like spent her whole life, I think she's a teenager in the book, just providing her sister with stuff she needs to help bring her back into remission. And so this is basically about her wanting to be able to choose for herself, and I guess suing her parents for the right to say what she does with her body and what she gives, because her mother wants her to give a liver to her sister to hopefully save her again. But yeah, it was like really depressing, and the mother, I couldn't stand her at all. She like really pissed me off. I mean, there's a few times that she kind of had redeemed herself, and maybe at the end too, but I mean, it's just like, you can't put that much pressure on a kid. Like, you can't degrade them and say, well, your sister would just love to be able to go out with her friends and do that and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, her sister's sick, but what is she supposed to do? Like, not live her life too because like her sister's sick? I mean, obviously she doesn't want her sister to be sick and she doesn't want her to die. But I mean, you just can't do that to a kid. I don't know. So she annoyed me. The father was kind of on Anna's side a bit. At least he was there for her a bit. I don't know. It was just like, it was a good book, but I hated the ending. And I was debating whether to watch the movie because I didn't really like the mother. Like, she's super crazy in this book and she just drove me insane. But I was told that the mother isn't as crazy in the movie, so I might give it a try, but I'll probably be still bawling my eyes out, so we'll see about that. And I gave it 3 to 5 stars. So after reading the first Heroine, Dark Heroine novel, I got the second one. I got the second one called Autumn Rose by Abagail Gibbs. And I gave this one 3 to 5 stars. I didn't mind that it was actually a parallel to the first. I liked that it was a perspective of Autumn Rose. I didn't really care that we didn't get a lot of Violet and Casper in it until the end, because I actually think I like Autumn Rose and her prince, I can't remember his name, a whole lot better. And so, I don't know, I found this story really interesting. Just looking at my notes. I mean, the ending, there was one little point that really bothered me because I didn't think it was plausible that you could change somebody's mind due to this, I don't know, this idea. I just found it so not believable, like it was too convenient. But other than that, I didn't find any of like the mistakes that I found in the first book, and I absolutely love the cover too. So I kind of look forward to when the third book comes out, and I think it comes out later this year in December or something. I'm kind of intrigued. We kind of got to learn a little bit more about like the different dimensions and stuff like that, and a little bit more about exactly what the Dark Heroines have to do. So I don't know, I liked it. The next book I read was The Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I mean, I absolutely love the cover, and I like the idea that it was about an assassin who is like the most feared in Andover. Well, I liked it, and I didn't mind like the banter between her and Dorian, I think his name is, and Chow. I can't remember how to say his name. That's bad. Actually, I'm gonna look that up because they actually include a pronunciation guide in here, which is nice. Kale. I knew it was wrong. And Kale, I don't believe that she's the most feared assassin because of the way she acts. I mean, she makes this big point. Okay, so she basically is the most feared assassin in Andover, and she's been sentenced to life because she got caught a year ago, and sentenced to life in the salt mine. So like, she's not gonna live that long. She's probably not gonna live 2 years because it's really hard and really harsh, and they don't, you know, like beat them, and they don't feed them and enough and stuff like that. But there's this competition, and a lot of people get to choose champions, and so Prince Dorian decides to choose her because he knew it would piss his father off, and she would get her freedom after she beats 22 other contestants in this contest, and then after that she would have like 5 or 6 years in the employ as the king's assassin, and then she'd be set free. Okay, first of all, I don't see the point of the competition. If she's supposed to be the best assassin in the world, why wouldn't he just hire her already and give her the contract and make her be his assassin? Like, I don't understand that, but whatever. There's a whole lot of other stuff going on. There's some kind of like supernaturally thing going on too, which is kind of interesting. I don't believe that she's the most feared assassin because there's so many things that really piss me off about her that, like, I don't know, like, she made this point of saying that she checked like everything. She's already altered everything in her windows and her doors and stuff so that she would know when somebody approaches her. But there's like 5 or like every time somebody came into her room, she was like jumped because, oh my god, I didn't see you. Like, really? You're the most feared assassin. You told me you made a point to make sure that no one can sneak up on you, and you do, like, you just jump anyways. Like, I don't know. I mean, the most feared assassin, no, but I mean, she is an assassin, which is, I don't know, interesting. She just looks more badass in the cover than she comes across in the book. I really did enjoy it though. I gave it 3 to 5 stars. But yeah, that was, I don't know, like, it's the first book in the series. I have the second and third one, I think, now, and the one with the short story. So I kind of look forward to reading that. I mean, it wasn't horrible. Be interesting to see what happens to her. The next book I read was Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and I knew this was a retelling of Cinderella, but I didn't know that Cinder was actually part cyborg and they lived in a futuristic world. I hated her friggin' mother and her eldest stepsister. Her youngest stepsister was obviously nice, and I absolutely love Aiko, her like little robot friend. She was like so awesome. I loved her. I hope she's in the second book more, I guess. Yeah, so I gave this 4 to 5 stars. I mean, it was a unique retelling of Cinderella, and there's still a lot of unanswered questions which bothered me, but it is the first in the series, so I hope in the second one we get to answer those questions, or get to learn the answers. I mean, like, why were the cyborgs, like, what happened to them to get so hated and be treated like second-class citizens when she's still freaking human? She just has, like, parts of her that are, like, cyborg. It's, like, it's almost the same as if you got your leg amputated and you got, like, a fake leg. Like, I don't know. And also about the lunar people, like, how did they come to be living on the moon, and how did they develop the powers that they have? But other than that, I mean, those answers will probably be addressed in other books. So yeah, 4 to 5 stars. I absolutely love this. I have the next 2 books, I think, and I can't wait to read them. Then I read Joyland by Stephen King. I kind of am on a quest to read everything that Stephen King has ever written, and I picked this up at the secondhand store, which I'm kind of glad because I didn't really enjoy this book. I mean, the first little bit was fine, but I mean, it says like, who dares enter the funhouse of fear, and then it like barely had the funhouse in it at all. So the funhouse is said to be haunted because 4 years ago from the present time in the book, someone was found murdered there, and then Devin Jones comes, he decides to work there for the summer, and basically it's just about him. The ghost story, because people claim to have seen the ghosts and stuff, like, kind of takes backstage, and like, it comes together at the end, but I mean, I don't know, I just kind of lost interest, and I didn't care about anybody, and yeah. I mean, it kind of makes it sound like it is a crime story, but it's not. It's more like a supernatural element, but a person like finding their way in life and what they want to do. I don't know. It was a meh for me. Like, not my favorite Stephen King. Glad I read it, but I'll never read it again. 2 to 5 stars. Then I read 40 Things I Want to Tell You by Alice Kuiper. I really don't know if I'm saying that right. I gave this book 3 to 5 stars. At first it like really sucked me in. Amy, aka Bird, has like the perfect life. She's got friends, she's got an awesome boyfriend, she's got good grades, she has like her whole life planned out, and then she decides to start this website where she's like anonymously giving advice to other teenagers. And then, like, I don't know, she just realizes something's not right in her life. She's kind of not really sure if she really loves her boyfriend or not. They've been best friends since like they were babies, and they just recently started going out, and he's kind of being a dick, and I'm sorry, he's kind of pressuring her into having sex, and she like keeps putting him off, and he actually doesn't really actually force her, which is nice. But I mean, I hated the fact that she was like, oh, this is just my fault, blah blah blah. No, it's not your fault. If you're not ready and he doesn't understand, then tough shit for him, kind of thing. But whatever. But then she like meets this like new guy who's like the bad boy. There's all these rumors and stuff, and like she makes a stupid mistake that changes her life forever. I don't know, the ending, she finally kind of realizes that her idea of the perfect life is kind of just the like, it isn't gonna happen, and no matter how much she wishes it, like choices have consequences, and she chooses the best thing she can and what was right for her to move forward, I guess. I don't know, it was okay book. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't like super horrible. It was kind of more of a coming of age story. I didn't really like the ending, like the bad guy, I don't know. His choices kind of pissed me off. But the next book I read was Coraline by Neil Gaiman. This is like my first Neil Gaiman book ever. I've kind of heard a lot of good things about him, so I decided to check out Coraline. I actually really loved it. Like at first I wasn't really sure if I was going to, because I was just like, some of the sentences are really like simplified and like really short, and I don't know. But then she went through the door and met the other family and the other mother with her black button eyes and her like creepy little nails, and I just like sucked me in, and I loved it after that. It was just like so good. It's like really creepy. I don't know, I just love it. So I can't wait to kind of try to, I think he's got a couple of other books. I'm going to definitely read them and definitely watch the movies. I gave Coraline 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was World War Z by Max Brooks. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. At first, like the first 200 pages I flew through, but then as I started going on, I couldn't figure out why I just didn't pick it up as much, and I finally realized it's because, yes, he's interviewing or listening to people tell their stories about what happened during the zombie apocalypse, but I couldn't just distinguish between people, and that they were even from like different countries. So like they could have all just been from the same person talking. Like, I mean, it kind of bothered me after a while, and the last 200 pages were kind of like a struggle to get through. I finally finished it, but I mean, it's not like it has an ending. It didn't really have a beginning or a middle. It just had a whole bunch of like perspectives of what happened. So I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I mean, I just couldn't get into it. Like, a lot of people love it, but I don't know. I mean, there's only a few stories that actually like had me flipping the pages, but they were too far and in between, and like there were only a few pages each, so it kind of sucked. And like all the talk, the government talk and the military talk and all that jargon just like threw me off, because I'm just like getting bored of the stories. So I don't know. I heard that the movie is way different than the book, so I might actually try that, because I like zombie things. And I'm kind of really surprised that I didn't like this, because I love anything zombies. I thought it was interesting because it is an oral history of the zombie war, so it's like after the fact. So I thought that was kind of an interesting concept, but I didn't like it. I'm sorry, I didn't like it. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. I'll have more book blurbs soon. Bye.